Alrighty guys, what is up? Lone Debater 7, Big B, Brandon, all of three of us are here today. All the same guy, so really it's just one dude, but anyway, we're here today and we're going to be doing some beat production. I just wanted to start the stream off with a little bit of a sampling of what I made before. That way you kind of can get a feel for the style of beats that I make. Like, I don't know, as far as like classifying it as a genre, I'm not sure how I would do that. But anyway, let's go into our Ableton. So, as a part of setting this up, I went ahead and put some pre-built instrumentos inside of this guy over here in Ableton. So I'm using some plugins primarily for like the main instruments and like my kick. All of those are going to be plugins. I have a couple of synths that I'm going to use to make my like bass line for the beat is kind of what I'm thinking. But bottom line is I want to get this set up so I have a decent like horn, trumpet, like orchestral type beat, because I found a couple of plugins that are orchestral based, and yeah, I think they're pretty decent as far as the instrument selection's concerned. And I'm trying to work my way through all of the instruments more or less and see if I can make stuff that sounds decent with all of them. Just like a personal challenge type thing. So I'm on, I think this one's a bassoon. An oboe. Sorry, it's an oboe. We're gonna make an oboe based beat up in this bitch today, because it's gonna be fun. So like, why not? Now, if you are tuning in, please just drop in the chat or whatever that the audio's too low. But I think I have it tuned pretty good for Ableton. So like, I don't know. My mixer says that's about like, I don't know. It's definitely quieter than like my voice. Let me tone that up real quick. Try that. No. Here. How about that? There we go. Okay. I think that's a little bit better. If there is like background noise, primarily like fan noise, so it might sound like I'm in a wind chamber when my microphone is turned on, which you can tell with this cool little light. I got new headphones with a microphone that are supposedly noise canceling on the microphone side. But anyway, the audio quality is great, so I like them. But right back here, this is what I've been working on the past few days. Is my crypto rig. It is great because it makes me a little bit of money every day, and I don't have to do anything with it now that it's built. But yeah, it does have fans that are relatively loud, that are always running, and because of that, I get a little bit of background noise now, at least when I record, that is. If I don't have the microphone turned on, then it's not a big deal. And like, let me just stop talking for a minute so you can get an idea of what that noise is like. So that's the background noise level of the room that I record in, because that's where my computer's set up at. But it's all right, not a big deal. We're gonna go ahead and dive in. Let's get this beat fucking built. So oboes and a lot of the horn-based instruments are tuned in B flat. So B flat right there. So we're gonna kind of structure this beat in the key of B flat, I think. So another instrument that's traditionally keyed in the tune of B flat are trumpets and like other horns, that kind of stuff. So I do have a second plugin, or second version, or second MIDI with this plugin installed on it, that we're gonna set up with either trumpets or like an oboe or like some other horn that's not an oboe. That way we can kind of like layer our horns, because it's a good way to like, I don't know. It'll sound better, I think. So we're going to do that, but let's fucking build this out. So this is kind of what I'm thinking I want to do, for like part of it at least. I don't know what part yet because I haven't built all the parts. So here we go. or something like that. Um, but so that's kind of the idea. I like the way the instrument sounds for the most part. Um, so I like to do it inside of the MIDI board down here. That way I can have it match the BPM consistently. It makes it easier when you're structuring out multiple different melody pieces that you're constructing by hand, in my opinion. However, I'm not super duper adept at the software necessarily. Like some people are better at messing with the audio version of it where you just have it record the whole time. You play whatever thing on the key on your MIDI board that I've got here that you would have, and you just chop it up, and that's how a lot of people do it. That's not how I do it. I go in and fucking build it this way. Think that's the same key? Yeah, it is. So this is 64 BPM. So I'm thinking we're going to want some space here for this piece. Because these are probably going to be like a measure long. So it's... Yeah. Actually, maybe they're halves. Let's do it as halves. Give that a try. 3. Right there. So I think we want this note to be the same length. And then these are going to be like half as long. So we get that that kind of sound. So let's just play that back and see what that sounds like. Okay. So I kind of want to speed this up a little bit, if I'm honest, so... Okay, so it's going to be longer than 4. It's going to be more like 8. Or we're going to fit it to 8. Or we're going to try to anyway. We'll see. So we're here, and then it goes a G next. No, it's just... Boom. Boom. Then back to the same. And that's at 6. And it starts out with halves with the flat there. So I can... Let's just play this real quick. Oh, sorry. I forgot my mic was muted. We're gonna try this for a minute and loop it. So I'm thinking instead of having it come back down, so like something like that instead, as opposed to what it is now, which is because it would sound better, I think. Yeah, I like that better. So we'll go up to the G and give that a try. Okay. Oh. I don't know what happened there. I got a lot of feedback off of this kick right here for some reason. It's not tied to audio, but it didn't like it when I turned on the microphone, so whatever. The quirks of Ableton sometimes are hilarious, but alright, cool. So we've got that piece kind of built. We're going to turn that off for now. Let's go over to this one, the helm. What are you looking at? I think this is the... So we'll probably end up using that oboe piece for like the hook, or it'll be the intro for sure. Like that's going to be the intro into the first verse is what my plan is, or the build up. And we'll probably throw at least either a kick or a kick plus trumpets or something. We'll add some extra instruments for that intro and something like that, and we might be able to get it to sound good enough that I'll also use it for the hook or part of it for the hook. I'm not 100% sure yet, but not a big deal. So let's see what this guy sounds like. Oh, way too up there. So I could do that. So, all right. If I turn that off, no, I want the distortion. Yeah. And I can tone that up. Because it sounds dead in my mix, but I don't know. Like, it is a beefy sound. And if you hold it, this is what it does because it's a synth. But you can stab it and it'll sound like a sub. So we're going to do that. We'll just leave that setting the way it is. So, where is this? Wow. Okay. Uh, we're we're dropping like 10 octaves from where that oboe is for these. This is crazy. Okay. I want it to be like long, short, long, short, 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 long, short, long. Something like that. All right. So that sounds repetitive as shit, right? But check this out. So if I do this, so it's currently there, like that. And I also can double these notes out and make them a little bit longer and see. Let's try that. No, I don't like that. Clap. Not that pattern anyway. All right, I'm gonna get in it for a minute because this is the drum line, so like I know what I want it to sound like, I think. So I'm gonna turn off the mic so you don't have to listen to me breathing while I'm like fucking around inside the keyboard. Alright. I kind of like how that's sounding right now. I'm going to play with the kick for a minute out on this level. Oh, I can't do it on this level, that's right. But, oh, whoops. Swap it over. So that's the kick I've got. Or that I'm going to use. I have several different kicks, but this is the one we're going to use. So we want it to kind of match this pattern, so... Let's try that. Alright. I actually really like that. That's pretty good. We're going to use that for sure for the verse. Like, that's going to be the drum line for the verse. We might split it a little bit and have it drop in a little bit and use that in the intro. And then use pieces of it for, or like, so we just built 4 MIDIs, like really, really fast because we want those 4 MIDIs for our fucking drum line. But the only other thing I'm going to add is, so these all come in. So if I make this one too long, meaning 2 bars or 2 measures or whatever, depends on if you who taught you music, what you're gonna call it. But so I should have one probably right here, and then I want one at the end. And this isn't going to be every time, but it's going to be used as a way to let's try that. So I can use this snap pattern or this chant pattern, and I can swap them back and forth now because it's kind of built out this way. All I'd need to do is kind of put like a snap leading in. Like that. And if I cancel out that and play with this. Oh, whoops. I forgot. These are on like the fourths. So they all just have to be moved up a little bit. Not a big deal. We'll delete that one. Move that. Do that. There we go. Okay. Now they either want to work. And then I just want to make like a single accent using this hi-hat. So And this is something fun you can do when you have a good hi-hat instrument, is you can tune them. So it'll sound different even though these are all right next to each other. It'll sound like you're playing two different notes. So check this out. It'll start normal. And you only do that every once in a while, and you can use that as like a quarter demarker type of a thing. So okay, we've got that piece all done. I need to build out a like main instrument, so let's open up our Odin, which is my other one that I've got. It's channel 3. Yeah. Do I want it to be... Okay, sorry. I kind of got in the zone there for a minute. So I'm trying to like I think this key is going to be better fitted for where the drum line is sitting inside of the mix. That way I can like I haven't put any audio effects on anything yet, so that might change things a little bit as far as if I'm actually going to stick with this tuning on the instrument or if I'm going to fuck with it a little bit more, because I might want it to sit up higher in the mix. That way it doesn't get muddied as much into the drum area, because this is supposed to be like a chorus type, like a bass instrument. So it's not it's not chorus necessarily, but it's not really drums either. Like it's supposed to have like some mid in it, not just a low or a high, if that makes sense. I really don't want low or high. I just want the mid on this particular instrument. So that's fine. This one is supposed to be trumpet, I think. Oh, I haven't set this one yet, but I was thinking I'd use the horn maybe. Oh, whoop, I have to swap it. So that's the horn. I don't know about that. Could do something like that as like a transitionary thing. So like if I build a bass line that's 2 bars long, then I could put this every other maybe on the end. Okay, yeah, I kind of like that. So, but do I want solo trumpet, sustain? I don't like that one. So this one I could make it like hi-hats. I could do something cool like that. So alright, we're maybe going to leave this one the way it is. And I probably need another MIDI track is kind of what I'm thinking. Because I think I want another clone of this. So let me just copy this over. And we're going to try, instead of on that, we're going to... because I want something long, like I'm gonna split as far as the melody goes, kind of like what my plan is. I'm gonna use the oboe piece that we made at the start. I'm gonna use this trumpet piece here with the sustain. I'm gonna use the other trumpet piece that's on the staccato, I think is what it's called. Yeah, staccato, which is where it's like short and like it's a musical term. That's actually what it's called. Like if you were in an orchestra and like the conductor said, "Play this shit staccato," that'd be something you should expect to hear. Like so. Anyway, I like that they have that in the fucking like this is a really good orchestra fucking plug-in. Anyway, so okay, we kind of got the instruments built the way we want. That's kind of how I go about doing it. Granted, we didn't actually tune the sub, so like if I threw in another MIDI just for fun, just to show you like it took a while to get the Odin 2 and the helm sounding the way I wanted. So if I go in and like just grab another helm, same plugin, this is what it sounds like from on default. Yeah. Well, granted that's its default setting, right? And we've got it sounding like that. So, just to give you an idea, there's a lot of like back end work as far as getting the instruments to sound the way that they do. It's a lot of just messing around with it more than anything. Like I'm not super duper good at it yet. I wouldn't say anyway. Who knows? Like maybe someone else would. I don't know. But anyway, okay. So we've got a bunch of parts kind of built. Actually, yeah. Let's do this real quick, and we're gonna kind of assemble a mix more or less because I want to have it recorded out at least for the pieces that we built thus far because we only have 3 pieces left. And then we can kind of take a look, try to throw in some audio effects and stuff and get all that sorted out now. Okay, so let's go ahead. I am going to turn off my microphone while I do this though, because for whatever reason, track 6 is catching a lot of feedback from this microphone, and I don't know why, because these headphones are sitting like close enough and you can't really hear it outside because I've tested it. So I don't know why that is, but it is. So anyway, I'm going to mute my audio as far as my microphone is concerned, and we're going to go through and record every single track individually. So take a seat, listen to what we've made so far. Okay, cool. So now we've got all of the like instrument patterns that we're going to use to make the beat kind of recorded out so I can move it around and copy and paste them and do that to build the loops out to whatever length I want. Um, it is at a 68 right now. I think we want to leave that because the kicks and the helm sound really good at 68. And yeah, it makes this sonata piece really long. So like if we take this and throw it, it's almost 30 seconds just for this one little break. Um, but that's okay because I can use that to kind of break up the song. So one brick there, one brick in the middle, one brick at the end, minute 30 there. If it's going to be a 3 minute, well, you call it a little longer than that. So another 2 minutes. So what is that? 3.5 minutes. So minute verse, 30-second hook. That's 3 minutes, 30-second outro. It's another 30 seconds. So 3 minute, 30-second beat, more or less. So basically what that entails is we are going to take this, we're going to copy it, and we're probably going to paste it around 25. Maybe, actually, it's going to be more like 28. And then this one is going to go more like the 3 minute, something like that. And then these are going to go inside of here, kind of like this. Now, I am going to move all this stuff. Well, these ones I'll probably leave because they're far enough in the track that it's not going to mess up the mix too badly. Something like that is probably what it's going to end up sounding like. I am going to move this one forward though, just because I'm going to want those bars up at the front to record these melodies because we're going to go make those next. So let's go ahead and listen to this one. So let's just get a feel for what this is going to sound like, okay? And yeah, it's not complete yet, and that's fine. We're going to add more stuff, but this will help give us an idea of what to add. Because this is kind of what I'm thinking I'm going to have our drums and stuff sound like. We're not going to have snares there, though. Not going to have kicks there either. So I want this like simple or open hat piece down here to be like a mark that happened. So there's 4 measures that happen, or 4 bars. So up here is where I'm getting that from. So there's 4 for this little loop piece. Then there's this, which is 1 long in the middle. Then we do another 4. So it's a total of 9 for that to, or well, actually it's a total of 10 for it to loop once. So you'd have two loops inside of 10 bars, so I guess it's five long. A 5-bar loop is what we're shooting for with the verse. I think that's actually going to match pretty good with what we're shooting for here. Now what I'm going to do, so it's not just, oh, we're going to listen to the oboe and whatever the fuck we throw on top of it for, you know, 8 fucking bars, and then it's just randomly gonna change into our like subs and all this shit. Nah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw some subs and the drums up at the front. And I do need to chop this one to get it to fit. And actually, that is the wrong way to chop it. I should chop it this way so it ends the same. Okay, let's try that as far as the drum part goes. And then I want the kick as well back here. So I might go, we'll just take 2 for the time being. And I'm going to leave a kick break right here, and then it'll come back in when it's the start of the verse, is what I'm going to try. And we're going to test all this out and see how it sounds. And if it sounds not great, then we'll change it. But I do want this, like, I want this to repeat a little bit longer. Like, I don't want them to come in at the same time. So we're going to do that. We'll throw this in this little bar gap that we've got. Okay. And then basically, what's going to happen is we're going to copy all of those, paste all of them, paste all of them. And that takes us all the way through. So pretty easy. I mean, it looks super duper complex right here. And we're still going to add more instruments. Bear that in mind. Actually, that one we don't need. And this one we don't need either. So we need to fill this much gap. Why is that? Because we have enough space for 4 right there. So maybe I just need to move this. Might make more sense. So we'll put in 4 so these two match. And then it ends right there. So like that. Okay. And probably what we're going to do is we're going to like have this transition out like this. We'll maybe do it with 3. Same with this. We'll put it in like this. We'll maybe throw one of these bad mamas in at the end and try that. So this is kind of the mix, roughly, what we've got so far. We still need to throw in the melody and all that. That's what the Odin and Sotina and all that BS is. This stuff actually doesn't need to be there. It's on the wrong track. It actually goes down here. No, we'll just delete that out for a sec. Try that again. So this track, this track. There we go. Okay. Now it's all in line. Perfect. So let's just take a listen and see what it sounds like. I'm going to turn off my mic while we play it through. Sorry about that, I fucked that up. I do need to add more of these in order to make this work. Okay, I think that's right. I do need to take the single bar that we built, throw those in the proper locations. So it needs to fill there. I actually don't want one there. Think I need one there. And there. Okay. And then that one's fine. And that one's fine. Okay. So this should be the correct pattern for this area too. So if I delete these two out and just paste this in, Okay, that should align properly, so now the verses and everything, like as far as this drum line and all that BS is concerned, it's going to match. So let's figure out this part. So this is going to be during this section. Okay, something like that, something like that. So let's just throw this in. And it's probably going to be a full bar. Okay, we're going to pause that for a minute while we finish doing this. So let's try that. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to call that good. Move that forward. We're going to record that real quick. And this is, and basically why I'm doing that, like, that is kind of how you would tune out your hi-hats, that last bar, that ba-ba-ba-da-da-da. Like, that is how you would tune a hi-hat. And I'm doing this that way I don't actually have to throw hi-hats into the mix. But it'll still sound like there's hi-hats, but they're tuned like an instrument, so it'll sound cool. Okay, so we got that one taken care of. Dope. Let's throw him up here. And I can maybe have that part of the drop in too. We won't move anything back over until we get the rest of these built out. So let's listen to this one. Probably too low. That's too high. No. Okay, something like that. So this is going to be our hi-hat instrument. Let's try that. Little, like, we'll tune these and we're going to throw some audio effects on it, but as far as like a bass sound goes, I actually do like that. So let's record this out. Okay, cool. And that is 2 bars long, and maybe it'll make more sense to have it shorter. So like have it just be recorded as 1 bar instead. Maybe I'll just do it as 1 bar. Yeah, let's do it as 1 bar. That's technically what it's written in. Whoops. Whoops. Okay, cool. Shrink that up. Dope. Throw that down here for now. And we'll use that at some point in the verse. Most likely is kind of my thought. But let's go over to this one. This one is our sustain trumpet. I don't know if I want trumpets. Maybe, let's try maybe a tuba? Yeah, I can do something cool with this. So let's set this as like a 2. I think we do go to the E. And then... And this doesn't have to be complicated. It's just kind of to fill the space a little bit. Because even though this is like a tuba, right, it's still tuned higher. Let's try that. Okay, that's not bad. I kind of like that. That sounds decent. So let's get that recorded up. Cool. That's all recorded. Let's size that. Pull this out. And then let's move this back where it's supposed to go in the mix, up at the very front. Okay, so now we've got all these extra parts, right? So we're going to arm all these tracks. We're going to turn this off real quick. And we're going to kind of get the rest of the mix figured out here. So, like, let's just take a listen. Well, I'm going to take a break real quick. And then when we come back, we're going to take a listen. And after that, we'll fill in where the rest of these pieces are going to go. So give me just 1 second here. All right, let's listen to what we've got so far. Okay, maybe we'll let it go through, or well, let's just listen to the verse, so. Okay, so it kind of does that. Well, there's only 3 segments here, so... Now this is a single bar, so this actually should be fairly easy to fit in. I'm thinking, anyway. Hoping, kinda. Yeah, because I can just throw this guy in where the cymbals are, or the hi-hats, whatever. Same diff. And then it kind of fills that void with a little extra sound, you know what I'm saying? So front of this one. I'm just making sure that all of these are actually just 1 bar long and not a little longer, because I think the recording was a little bit longer, so. Okay, that seems decent. Goes right there. And I think those are all aligned. Yeah, looks like it. Cool. And I can throw this even at the bridge on either end as well. And just like that. Cool. That'll kind of balance the mix a little bit. Because these are more of a high sound. Like they're a high frequency. Whereas the rest of this is kind of more like lower mids. So cool. Got that. This is our other lower tuned one, and this is our tuba. So the tuba, we're probably going to want to introduce to the mix relatively early. So like if I put it there, it will have gotten through. So if I put it right there, it will have gotten through 1 hole. So I think we'll kind of respect the break points more or less. So, oh, that's annoying. Okay, fine. So what I want to do is split this into a shorter one. So if I go into the... So let's just close some of these out so I can actually see what I'm doing here. So I know all those tracks are good. We're working on this track. I need to zoom to arrangement time. There we go. Zoom back 1 level because really it's in the middle. I need to go right here. So what we're gonna do, just gonna stretch that a bit, and then I can put, actually leave that one there, slide this one over. Come on, buddy, you can do it. There we go. Okay, put that one over. Okay, expand that. Actually, undo that. Expand. We don't need to do that. Cool. So that should work for there. Now, since we've made one of these weird ones, or well, once we take these regular ones and finish it off right there, we can copy all of this. Whoop. If we zoom in, we can paste it in right where we want it, and it'll align again, and looky there, we've got it. Cool, cool. So that one is good now. We still need to do the Odin. Okay, so this one is a sub, right? Nah, it's that sound. Okay, we'll maybe put this on the ands of everyone, if that makes sense. So we're going to ultimately need 2 of them, but same thing, we're going to have to go to the arrangement time, widen this out, scooch it over, and we're going to fit it right in here. So one's going to go there, one's going to go like right there. Oh, whoops. Need one right there. And I need one right there. Okay. Well, for whatever reason, that was a lot easier than the other one, but I'm good with that. Now, I don't want this playing the whole thing. I just want it on the ends. Or actually, let's try it just on the ends like this to start. And then let's paste that real quick. We need to zoom in here real fast. Think it's right there? Yeah, that's what we're shooting for. Cool. Alright, I think the mix is pretty much oriented the way we want it. So let's go ahead and give it a run through with it set up like this before any audio effects, before any of that. So bear that in mind. It's going to sound completely different after I go through and add in all the audio effects. And I might change where some of these instruments are located. So like you see these bricks here, these might move around a little bit. But let's just play it through and see how it sounds. Okay, so I can't have the tuba and the bass play at the same time. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this around a little bit. And we're going to set this up so this one plays first and the tuba plays second. Okay, I think that's right. Alright, then we just need to delete out these. We'll do something like that. Okay, so let's just start it from the verse and listen to that. I changed my mind on the tuba. I don't want it. We're just going to use the bass that we built here. So, yeah. Sorry if you like the tuba, but it's gone now. So, anyway. No worries. There we go. Should be built out properly. Awesome. Then we can do something like that. I think that mix is a little bit cleaner. So I think that hiss is coming from the fact that I'm using this kick plugin, because this track like randomly fucking gives me a bunch of feedback for no reason. And I'm pretty sure it's not my microphone, because it does it even when the microphone's muted. So I don't know what that's about, but whatever is what it is. So yeah. We kind of have this sound in the way I want as far as like a bass level mix is concerned. So now, or like the levels are concerned. So let's just play through the whole whoops, I did not want to record anything. So we'll just undo that real quick. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to play through this mix right now. I'm going to go through and adjust all the like volumes and make sure everything's sitting right, so we're not blowing this master before we throw in any audio effects. And I might tune stuff down a little bit lower than where it's actually going to end up sitting inside of the mix. That way I can play with the output knobs and tone stuff up with a compressor or the equalizer or whatever I end up using to help shape the sounds that these are going to make. So we have the rough mix now. This is the rough mix without any effects, so let's listen to it real quick. Sorry about that, guys. I forgot to throw in this little single bar right here. I missed one. My bad. We'll start it from the top of this verse. Apparently I missed another one. Well, shit. That sucks. That's fine. Whatever. Okay, so that's kind of the rough mix as it stands right now. So let's dive into some fucking audio effects and make this shit sound legit good. All right, so this is the first one we're gonna tune. So normally what I do with my audio effects, at least starting out, is I drop into my reverb. I usually use this basement one. I think this came preloaded with the pack. I don't remember. Whatever. And I'm trying to just hear the one sound at a time. That way I can kind of like isolate more or less. So really the best way to do this is I should turn all these off and just mess with the single track that I'm working on right now, and that's it. I'll turn these on when I get to them. Okay, so that's not terrible. I might try tuning it just a little bit more like that. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Next, what I like to do is drop a compressor in, switch it over to this mode, and then we'll go from there. And that just acts as kind of like a choke. So this EQ. To really isolate out the mids. That's all we're doing there. So not a big deal. That's kind of the way I want it. Then I drop in a second layer of this right here. So reverb. And there we go. So that one is pretty much good to go. We're going to switch over to the helm next. Not a big deal. Normally with drums, you want to start with a fairly dry reverb, and then you'll throw the wet one after. Okay, that should work. Then you drop the compressor. And since it's a low frequency, getting it with the compressor is going to be tough. As far as like getting it to sound the way you want. So it takes some time when you're throwing in audio effects to get it to sound the way you want. So sometimes what you do instead of dropping the compressors, you drop an equalizer. So when it's muddied out like that, you want to drop the EQ next. Then you can clear the highs out. Actually, we're going to leave that where that's at for now. And just like that, we turn that into like an 808 just by playing with some audio effects. So it had a string sound. We've basically made that disappear by layering a fuck ton of audio effects, so reverb and compressors, EQs. So let's move on to the Odin. That is our next buddy boy to play with here. So we're starting on 13. So I'm just playing with this here to try to isolate the mid a little bit with this first one, but I don't want to lose all the low. And that's why you layer it. Or that's why I layer it anyway. Then with this second EQ, you can get it more tuned to how you want. So really I need to throw a delay right here. It's what needs to happen. I forgot to do that. Okay, that's pretty close to how I want it to sound, I think. Well, I'll be able to tell more if that sounds weird in the mix. Not a big deal. So next is the Sonata Orchestra. Heck yeah. Let's get it. And this is a small one, so this one probably won't be all that intense. It's a higher frequency, so we kind of want to tune reverb like that. Maybe like 70. Yeah, I kind of like that better. We'll maybe drop or raise that to 80. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. We will throw in a compressor. Okay, EQ real quick. Throw that, and I do want a little bit of highs in there. Yeah, that's about what I want for that. Doesn't need to be anything more because it's not being played a lot in the mix. And while we're doing this one, we're going to go ahead and do the open hats as well, since they're kind of same boat. They're smaller, so we're not going to need all that much for it. So we're going to throw in this. It's probably going to be something like that. Something like that. Like that. Maybe a little bit drier since it is a cymbal. So like a 60 to start. Let's try that. Maybe a little wetter. And I want to lower the decay time. Okay. Little wetter. Cool. Compressor that. Sometimes it's easier to compressor some of the, or like audio effect these tracks before you record them. Because then you can hear what the little loop is going to sound like. And just adjust that one at a time as opposed to trying to have to scroll through the track and stuff. But not a big deal. So we got that kind of where we want, I think. There we go. Okay. Let's see. I think we need to go to the kick. Yeah, the kick. Hails, yeah. This is an important one. So we're going to turn off the low cut because we're not going to use that. Since it's a kick, it's in the low end. There we go. So now it's toned a little bit better. And that's all we really need to do for the kick. The kick doesn't typically need all that much. It just kind of depends on how good the source sound is too, a little bit on that, but anyway, that's good enough. I think 70% is typically pretty good. Okay, so I think that'll sound a little better. Alright, I'm content with that. Coolio. Let's go on to this one. Well, how is that one supposed to sound? There we go. I kind of like that a little bit better. Alright, that's probably good on that. Snaps are going to be fairly easy as well, I think. Probably just this and a compressor is my guess. No, sometimes you don't need to EQ the whole... Okay, I think that's good. So I believe that is all of the tracks mixed. So what I'm going to do next is something I like to do in general with my tracks just to help me organize them a little bit better, and also so I can layer more effects on and not have it sound like shit after you do that. So I am going to take, these are all drum pieces. Helm is a drum piece as well, basically. Sonata, I don't remember if that one is or not. We can always add it later, but we're going to group the tracks. We're going to name this bass. Then we're going to take all the other tracks. And group them as like mid/melody. Just because that's kind of where they fall as far as their frequencies are concerned. So like if I'm going to drop an EQ or something, it's going to be affecting the same frequency, so it makes sense to do it all at once. But let's take a listen now that we've got all the audio effects in place and see how this sounds now. We're almost at the 2-hour mark, so if it's good to go, it took us about 2 hours to make this beat. I'll probably end up putting more effects in these group tracks at some point, but we'll listen to it now. Oh, sorry, my mic was muted. Okay, so not terrible, I guess. I don't know. I don't think it's terrible anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and save this bad mama up. We're probably gonna call it like synth horned because there's horns in it. Synth horns. I don't know. Sure. Why the fuck not? Okay. I also like to export these, typically speaking. So we're going to set this to 62.0. Though there's a little bit of fall off. I am going to put the BPM. So this is at 72 BPM right now. I might adjust it up or down. I don't know. I don't actually know. That's why I was playing with the BPM knob up there to see if I liked how it sounded better slow or fast or kind of where it was, and I liked it bumped just a little bit faster than where it was. So that's where we're exporting it at. We'll play it over on the exported side just to make sure that it sounds the same for the most part. Then we'll probably wrap the stream up there. Anyway, pretty fun. Took us about 2 hours, when everything's said and done and the export's finished, to get the beat completely made from scratch, all MIDI tracked myself. Audio effects are basically done too, and everything like that. So here we go. Let's listen. Alright, I'm content with that, guys. So I think we're going to wrap up the stream here for today. If you enjoyed it, be sure to consider following me on Twitch, subscribing to my YouTube channel, following me on SoundCloud, and everything like that. Eventually, I will have this beat uploaded over on SoundCloud. I don't know when exactly I'm going to touch it up. It might remix it a little bit more and mess around with it a little bit further before I upload it. But anyway, that is basically our live stream for today. We made a beat. It's based on synths and 808s that I got in a couple new plugins. I do also have some third-party, like the hi-hats are a third-party pack, the chants, that kind of, like some of the miscellaneous percussion stuff is just instrument stuff, but by and large the sounds in this beat are built with these plugins. So the Sonata or Sonatina Orchestra, Helm 64, Kick 2x64, and the Odin 2. So that's kind of what we used to make this one. If you enjoyed it, let me know. You can always send me a message as well if you would like to collaborate on making a beat, song, whatever it may be. Or if you want me to make you something specific, let me know what kind of instruments you like. Send me like an idea of kind of how you want the beat to sound, more or less. So like if there's a song that you like and you're like, oh, I really like the beat to this and I want my beat to sound similar to this beat, as far as like instrument composition, timing, that kind of shit is concerned, send all that material over to me. We can work something out. I probably can get it built for you. Anyway, guys, this has been Lone Debater 7 Big B Brandon, and until next time, we will